Interesting what you said that reading was considered good, no matter what you read. That's I think a lot of kids are taught that, which is kind of interesting because it doesn't matter if you write or read fiction or nonfiction, but it's just good to read.
Hmm.
Do you think in general that is true? That just reading anything, just training your brain to read is good?
Well, I do, but that could be an outdated, way to look at it. I haven't really thought about it, but there are some studies, I believe, and I can't quote you any specifically, but that reading fiction for kids, it helps them grow their empathy muscle.
Oh,
Basically, it
interesting.
helps
Okay.
them, because if you're reading fiction, you are getting into the minds of other characters and sort of considering what it would be like to
Ah,
be that person and to go through those experiences. And so I have heard that, they've studied this, and it turns out that kids who read actually become or learn how to be empathetic, maybe more so than kids who aren't put in that situation. So I think it's good for that reason, if nothing else.
yeah. Ah, that's very interesting. I've never heard or thought about that.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a difference between, I think, watching movies or watching TV and reading.
Mm,
Reading puts you into the mind of a particular character in a way that movies and TV really don't.
yeah.
And it makes you kind of it really makes you see the events and the story through that character's eyes,
Mm,
even like at an even closer perspective
yeah.
than movies and TV can.
Makes total sense.
Yeah.
Makes total sense. I think from if we talk nonfiction, like trying to learn things
Mhm.
for me, and I think especially for men, I
Mhm.
think it's hard to read and sit still in those young years in school. I
Yeah.
think there are probably better ways to learn, in my opinion,
Oh, for
than
sure.
reading, listening, like audiobooks or even watching YouTube videos. You can learn everything nowadays on YouTube, right?
Yeah, and I even even though I did like to read to learn in school, there's that I know that that's challenging for a lot of people, and even for myself who, I love to read, but when you're really trying to learn a new subject, reading might not be the best or easiest way for everyone to learn it. I listen to a lot of nonfiction audiobooks now
Yeah.
too, partly for the time for the because I'm like multitasking.
Hmm.
um but also I think hearing people discuss something in conversation makes it easier to pick up new information than just reading, kind of like a
Mm,
litany of facts, right? So
yeah.
I definitely think there are other ways, and it's nice that we have so much information available in so many different formats
Yeah.
now, so you can learn new things without having to just read about them.
Yeah. Yeah, even our conversation right here, I mean, hopefully, people will take something and learn something from what you've said. Maybe not from what I've said, but
Stop.